Well, it's a big show. Oh, it's a big bad show tonight. Oh, baby, come on. Oh. Yeah, it's a big show. Oh, crank it up, turn on the lights, turn them on.
From the greatest city in the world, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hello, everybody. It's me, Mr. Brewtown. You are listening to the big show we call the Brewtownsports. You can find us on Twitter and Google+, Brewtownsports. Facebook is called Mr. Brewtown. You can listen to the show at brewtownradio.weebly.com. You can also listen to the big show at tpsradio.net, baseballtalkradio.com. You'll find us at stitcher.com, tunein.com, and also on itunes.com. Don't forget about Spreaker.com, Brewtownsports, and then Podomatic.com, Brewtownsports, and the newest one. Yes, we're growing in leaps and bounds here, ladies and gentlemen. Maximum Sports Channel. Go to maxsports.com. Listen to the big show. Monday nights, they're going to slot it in somewhere around the 5 o'clock hour, and then it gets added into the rotation, and they just play it and play it and play it, and you just listen to it whenever you want, over and over and over again. So happy to be on that great networks. That's one of the many networks that the great Phil Nasons is on. So I thought, why not? Hey, if Phil Nasons is on that network, Mr. Brewtown's going to be on that network too. So thanks to the other Phil, the guy who runs Maximum Sports Channel, for saying, yeah, we'll put you on there. We'll give it a shot, man. You know what? Let's see what Mr. Brewtown could do. So, and so if you're listening to this program for the first time on Maximum Sports Channel, I say hello and welcome, and share it with all your friends. And if you want to shoot me an email, you can do that at mrbrewtown78@gmail.com. You can also go to brewtownradio.weebly.com. And hit that comment line button. You can leave a question and or comment for me, Mr. Brewtown. I'll answer it or play it right here on the big show. Hey, how about your Milwaukee Brewers? I mean, going into the series, a lot of people said, hey, listen, this is the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we understand that the Brewers are in first place. We understand that you have a record that's even with the Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles, California. But this is the Dodgers. I mean, this is the pitching staff. This is Clayton Kershaw. I mean, this is Zach Greinke. I mean, what do you guys got? I mean, come on. This is the Dodgers. Hey, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The Brewers have beat them twice. Last night, they beat Zach Greinke, which isn't easy. Zach Greinke is one of the top 5 pitchers in all of baseball. I mean, he really is. And the Brewers beat him, and a guy outpitched him by the name of Mike Fiers. Now, Brewers fans, people that live here in the state of Wisconsin, we know Mike Fiers. He's pitched for the Brewers before. Went down to the minor leagues, did fantastic in Nashville. And the Brewers finally brought him up with a little injury to Matt Garza. They said, hey, now'd be the time. He's stretched out. He's got a lot of innings in down there in Nashville. Let's see what this guy can do. And oh, man. I mean, he struck out 5 and 8 innings, and he just was on fire. The Dodgers didn't know what to do. Evidently, they did not have a book on Mike Fiers. And to beat former Brewers pitcher Zach Greinke was Mike Fiers has just got to be on cloud 9 this morning, and the whole Brewer organization. Carlos Gomez did get a home run last night, and K-Rod got another save. It's that simple. I mean, the Brewers, it's just a magical season for the Milwaukee Brewers, and we've become kind of complacent here in the greatest city in the world. We've kind of now expect the Brewers just to win. And when we look at each individual series and we say, okay, we can beat these guys. We could be, and I was one of them yesterday. I was just kind of sitting around the Brewtownsports studios, getting ready for the Brewer game, getting ready for the Green Bay Packer game last night. And we'll talk a little bit about that Packer game in the second half of the program here on the Big Show. And it was just one of those amazing things. And I could just see the victory. Zach Greinke, great pitcher. But the Milwaukee Brewers, hey, he used to play for us, so we kind of know what he's going to throw and how he's going to throw, and his line of thinking when he's on the mound, and it worked. And Mike Fiers, as we said, was just unbelievable. The numbers for the Milwaukee Brewers in yesterday's game, as we said, Carlos Gomez got a home run. He did go 1 for 3, scored a run, did draw 1 walk, struck out once, and stole a base. So, I mean, this was an active day for Carlos Gomez, 291 on the season. Jonathan LaCroix went 3 for 4 last night. He's now batting .312. I mean, if you guys are not paying attention to Jonathan LaCroix, if you're not paying attention to Jonathan LaCroix, this guy now who's taken over as the best catcher in Major League Baseball. And I'm 100% serious. This guy is it. He's got the bat, he's got the defense, he's got the knowledge. This kid is a heck of a find for the Milwaukee Brewers, and get on board. Get on board. Get this guy on your fantasy team. Whenever you have an opportunity to watch Jonathan LaCroix, watch it. This kid is unbelievable. Ryan Braun went 0 for 3. Aramis Ramirez went 3 for 4. And we all know Aramis Ramirez. He's one of the best third basemen over the last 20 years. We were so happy that he decided to get out of Chicago, get away from the Cubs. He wanted to win, so he came up here. And beautiful game last night for Aramis Ramirez. Scooter Gennett went 1 for 4. This is another kid that, when they drafted him, a lot of people said, Scooter Gennett. I mean, come on. We're going to have a guy on our team named Scooter. Scooter, are we being serious here? He has turned into one of the best young second basemen in all of baseball. He's batting .306 on the season. Chris Davis is 1 for 3. I'm high on this kid. I am really high on this kid. Back in April when he was struggling, a lot of people on the national level and even around here in the greatest city in the world, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, were saying this kid needs to be sent back down to the minor leagues. Get rid of this kid. He can't do anything. He's batting .253. He's a free swinger. But this guy he can hit home runs. He hit one yesterday, too. And, defensively, he needs a lot of work. That's why they went out and got Geraldo Parra from the Arizona Diamondbacks, who's got a great glove, and he's got a good bat. So Chris Davis, a good game last night from Chris Davis. I'm really high on this guy. He had 2 RBIs. Geraldo Parra came in defensive position late in the game. Mark Reynolds did not get a hit. He's batting .206 on the season. All right, Mark Reynolds. I like Mark Reynolds. Defensively, he's okay at first base. He can play third base. He can play the outfield for you. This is a guy whose whole career has been hitting home runs. That's it. Hitting home runs. I mean, the Brewers didn't bring him on board and say, we could turn him into a 300 hitter. It's just not going to happen. And the Brewers knew it. And Mark Reynolds and Lyle Overbay as their first baseman is still better than what we had last year. So it's a step up, and you're always wanting to step up in Major League Baseball. Gene Segura did not get a hit. Now batting .236 on the season. Disappointing season for Gene Segura. Good shortstop. Great young prospect for the Milwaukee Brewers. Had a great year last year. Mike Fiers, as we said, just pounded. He just pounded the plate, and I love it. I love it when guys come out and just pound the plate. When they come up from the minor leagues, and as we said, Mike Fiers has pitched in the major leagues before. He's pitched 22, 23 games for the Milwaukee Brewers, and so we're all familiar with him. This is a kid who has pitched decent enough, but with the signing of Matt Garza and Marco Estrada and Willie Peralta at the beginning of the year, both getting off to good starts, there just wasn't room for Mike Fiers. So they said, we're going to send you down to the minor leagues so you can pitch every 4 or 5 days, and you can keep your arm active. And when we need you, we'll bring you up. And they needed him. Gave up 3 hits in 8 innings, 1 run, 1 earned, walked 1, struck out 5. ZRA now in the season is 1.80. And now the problem is going to become is Mike Fiers, now every time he pitches, this is what fans are going to expect out of him. Because they're going to say, well, you did it against Zach Greinke. You did it against the Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles, California. Why can't you do it against the Cubs? And that's a lot of pressure. I think Mike Fiers is a good pitcher. He kind of reminds me of a David Bush. If you remember David Bush, this is a guy who wasn't going to be the ace. He wasn't going to go out and win 20 games, but he could win games here and there, and he pitched well enough to stay in the rotation. So Mike Fiers is a good little addition for the Milwaukee Brewers. K-Rod got the save, 35th save of the season, and I mean nobody had that. Nobody in spring training. When we were looking forward to the season, we were all kind of saying, okay, Jim Henderson is going to be our saver. He's going to be our closer. Nobody had K-Rod at 35 saves at this time of the year. So a great season by K-Rod. Attendance yesterday, 40,000 people at Miller Park, right here in the great city in the world, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So the Brewers have also announced that they've gone over 2 million in attendance for this season. So it's a great and magical season for the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers got to take on Clayton Kershaw today. It's not going to be easy. That is not going to be easy, and we'll talk about that, kind of give you a preview of that game, and we'll take a look at the standings as we stand today in Major League Baseball, and we'll do that right after this break. You're listening to the big show. We call it Brewtownsports.
Hey, baseball fans, if you've been dying all winter for some hot baseball action, a little crack in the bat, the slap of a ball in a leather glove, waiting to talk baseball and listen to people talking baseball, well, you can have that and much more at baseballpodcast.net, the home of great baseball podcasts. That's baseballpodcast.net.
Don't forget you can look for us on Twitter and Google Plus Brewtownsports. Facebook, it's Mr. Brewtown. You can also listen to the show at baseballpodcast.net, Stitcher.com, TuneIn.com, and iTunes.com. You can shoot the emails to Mr. Brewtown78 at gmail.com. If you have a question or a comment, just hit the comment line button on brewtownradio.weebly.com, and we'll answer those right here on The Big Show.
Have you heard the world-famous Mr. Brewtown? Check out his shows right here at the home for baseball talk, baseballpodcasts.net.
Hey, welcome back to The Big Show. We call it Brewtown Sports. You can find us on Twitter and Google Plus Brewtown Sports, and look for us on Facebook. It's called Mr. Brewtown. Hey, and listen, if you're a Brewers fan, and even if you're not a Brewers fan, but you're kind of getting interested in the Milwaukee Brewers, you kind of said, hey, listen, this team's still in first place. They got Jonathan LaCroix. They got Carlos Gomez. They got Mike Fiers. Mike Fiers outpitched Zach Greinke. And you want to kind of get involved in this magical season? There really is only one place on Facebook that you can get all the news and notes, and you can chat with other big-time Brewers fans, and that's called True Blue Brew Crew. True Blue Brew Crew 2014. It just send us a little note. Just say, I want to join the group, and myself and Spencer and Troy, one of our new administrators, will say, yeah, come on aboard. Hey, come on. You know, and it's not one of those groups where, hey, listen, you got to be a 100% Brewers fan, and otherwise we're not going to let you in here. We're going to let you in. Just don't troll and don't use bad language, and please don't aggravate me while you're on my group. It's that simple. We'll just let you on board. True Blue Brew Crew 2014. Hey, listen, tonight's going to be a great game. And we can say that on every baseball game. We can say, oh, today is going to be a great day at the ballpark. Vin Scully always, oh, it was a beautiful day at the ballpark. I wish I could do a Vin Scully voice. I really wish I could do a Vin Scully voice, because that would be fantastic. I mean, that would be like knowing how to do the voice of baseball god. Vin Scully is baseball god, and Bob Uecker. I mean, those two right there. Vin Scully and Bob Uecker. And I can kind of do a Bob Uecker, but I'm not going to do it. Clayton Kershaw is on the mound today for the Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles, California. And this is one of those great matchups where you're going to get all kinds of different ways that you can listen and watch this game. Nationwide. If you're out in the Los Angeles area, you can pick up that game on 570 Fox Sports LA. KTNQ 1020. KTNQ 1020. In the Milwaukee area and in the state of Wisconsin, you can pick that game up on the Brewer Radio Network. You can also pick it up locally here in Milwaukee on ESPN Deportes 1510, and Kevin Holden on CBS 58, who's a great guy, by the way. He'll be doing the game on the what channel is that? It's like the Spanish channel here in the Milwaukee area. He does the play-by-play. TV out in Los Angeles, Sportsnet Los Angeles. It's also going to be on TBS. On TBS, Fox Sports Wisconsin, locally, and also TBS. So there's a lot of ways to watch and listen. And as I always say, you can also pick it up on the satellite and on the internet. Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. Or on the mound. I wish he was on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's on the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers. His ERA on the season is 1.82. I mean, it's been years since somebody has pitched this well over a period of time. He's the reigning Cy Young Award winner, and he's just killing it this year. He's absolutely killing it this year. So get on out to the ballpark and watch that game on TV or listen to it on the radio. And Jimmy Nelson's on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. And this is going to be the biggest thing that's ever happened to Jimmy Nelson leading up to this point in his life. Nothing, and I mean nothing, has ever been bigger. Because he's going to face Clayton Kershaw. And the Brewers have won the first two games. The Brewers have won the first two games. And the bats are coming alive. The bats are coming alive. And Clayton Kershaw has an ERA of 1.82. So if we can score 3 runs, if we can score 2 runs on Clayton Kershaw, and Jimmy Nelson can pitch well enough to silence the bats, because the Dodgers offense has not been ripping it up as of late. Jimmy Nelson could walk away with the victory. And when he's 89 years old, and he's sitting in that little retirement home for baseball players, he could be telling everybody else, you know what? Back on August 10th of 2014, I outpitched Clayton Kershaw. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. So that game time is at 1:10 Milwaukee Brewer time. That's Central Time. Ladies and gentlemen, and that game is at Miller Park. They better have the roof open because it's just perfect. The weather here in Milwaukee is perfect. Open the roof. Keep it open. Open the panels. Open all the doors. That's what people want here in the greatest city in the world. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at the standings as we stand today in the American League in the Eastern Division. The Baltimore Orioles are 6 games up on the New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Orioles are 67-49. The Yankees are 61-55. Toronto 62-56. Tampa Bay is 57-59. They've won 3 games in a row. And a lot of people thought David Price gone, that's it. The Rays don't stand a chance. They've won 3 games in a row. They're 10 games back. Boston at 51-65. 16 games back. 3-7 in the last 10 games. They're going to end up in last place in American League East. The Central Division, the Detroit Tigers, who added pitching, added David Price. And I know everybody's making a big deal out about Oakland's pitching staff. I think Detroit's got the best pitching staff in the American League right now. Their bullpen not as good, and Oakland's had some problems with the bullpen. But they're only 1.5 games up on Ned Yost and his Kansas City Royals. Detroit is 63-51. Kansas City 62-53. 6.5 games back is Cleveland at 50-59. Chicago White Sox are good guys. On the south side of Chicago are 56-62, 9 games back. Minnesota is 51-64. They're 12.5 games back. They've lost 4 games in a row. Out west, Oakland is 4 games up on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, California. Oakland is 72-44. The Angels are 68-48. Seattle 61-55. Houston is 49-68. And Texas is 45-71. They don't have the big bat of Bridgefield are in that lineup. National League East, the Washington Nationals are 4.5 games up on the Atlanta Braves. The Nationals are 63-52. Atlanta's 59-57. Miami's 57-59. The Mets are 56-61. They're 8 games back. Philadelphia is 52-65. They're 12 games back. The Mets have won 2 games in a row. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. And the percentage chance of them making the playoffs right now is 9.9%. So, yay, go Mets. Out west, the Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles, California, who thought they could come into Milwaukee and sweep us because they were throwing 2 of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. We'll find out today with Clayton Kershaw. They beat Zach Greinke last night, the Brewers did. Now, The Los Angeles Dodgers have lost 2 games in a row. Their lead over the San Francisco Giants is 3.5 games. The Dodgers are 66-52. San Francisco 62-55. San Diego is 53-62. Arizona 51-66. And Colorado is 20 games back, last place, lost 3 games in a row, 2-8. In their last 10 games, they're 45-71. The National League Central, the division that everybody is watching, the Milwaukee Brewers are now 2.5 games up on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Milwaukee is 65-52. They've won 3 games in a row. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. Pittsburgh 62-54. They lost yesterday. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. St. Louis is 61-54. They're 3 games back. Cincinnati is 59-58. They're 6 games back. They've lost 2 games in a row, but they're 6-4 in their last 10 games. The Cubs are 49-66, 15 games back. Lost 2 games in a row. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. And one of the reasons why the National League Central is the best division of baseball, and why you should be paying attention to this division and this division only, the Milwaukee Brewers, if they continue to play the way that they're playing right now, and the other teams in that division continue to play the way that they're playing right now, the Milwaukee Brewers have an 83% chance of making the playoffs. That's unbelievable. On August 10th, we're not only in first place, but we have an 89.6% chance of making the playoffs. Now, that could change after today. Pittsburgh has a 56% chance. St. Louis has now dropped to 44% chance if they continue to play the way that they've been playing over the last 10 games. Cincinnati's dropped to a 32% chance. But every game, that changes. It goes up and down. Any one of these teams, any one of the top 4 teams, the Cubs are not going to have a great comeback and win this division. Any one of those 4 teams can still put it together, catch the Brewers, and win. I think the Brewers win this division, because they've been able to find ways to win. And that's what they're doing, and it's just been fantastic. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Green Bay Packer football for you. And don't forget, you're listening to the big show. We call it Brewtown Sports.
Don't forget about the friends of the show, MetsMusings.com, FightinPhillies.com, BaseballTalkRadio.com, BaseballPhD.net, FantasyBaseballWeekly.wordpress.com, PhilipNasons.wordpress.com, Marlins Country Radio at Spreaker.com, TalkToContact.podomatic.com, PayneInsider.com, Talking Golf with Gary, that's TGWG.com, SportsWiseGuys.com, MilwaukeeSportsGeeks.com, MLBThisWeek.com, and don't forget you can listen to the big show, Brewtown Sports, on Podomatic, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, and BaseballTalkRadio.com, and my site, BrewtownRadio.weebly.com.
Hi, welcome back to the big show. It is called Brewtown Sports. Look for us on Twitter and Google Plus, Brewtown Sports. Facebook is called Mr. Brewtown. You can listen to the show at brewtownradio.weebly.com, tpsradio.net, baseball, talkradio.com, stitcher.com, tunein.com, and itunes.com, and you can also listen to it at Spreaker.com and Podomatic.com, and the new one, MaxSportsChannel.com. So go ahead and just find one, man. Just find a network and listen to the big show, and you've been doing that. Hey, the Green Bay Packers, America's favorite NFL football team, they took a loss last night in preseason football to the Tennessee Titans, 20-16. Now, Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to play. I mean, there was bad weather. Why even put him out there? So the Packers had also held out Eddie Lacy. So it was one of those games, preseason. You looked at it as the first game. Okay, we're going to watch and see how some of the backups do. And not a bad game by the Green Bay Packers. Matt Flynn, a little bit disappointing to me. He just seemed to float the ball. He went 5 for 10 for 49 yards. His yards per average were 4.9. He just really, and also, and to his credit, I guess, he was playing in that heavy rain. If you got a chance to see that game or you've seen the video, it was coming down. I thought that they were playing over on the Big Island, Hawaii, during the hurricane, because the rain was coming down. But Matt Flynn, to me, didn't look that good, I guess. Scott Tolzien, former Wisconsin Badger, he looked pretty good. He was 8 for 12, 124 yards, 10.3 yards per average. He was sacked twice in that game. Scott Tolzien basically went up against the second and third team players of the Tennessee Titans, but he looked good. So I give the credit, or I give the nod to Scott Tolzien in that one. And if this has anything to do with who gets that number 2 slot this week, who gets that, because Aaron Rodgers is going to get most of the snaps in practice, as Scott Tolzien will probably now get a couple of more looks by the offense. Chase Redding out of Boston College was 1 for 3 and 10 yards, and this man looked like he was lost. Like, oh my God, what am I doing out here? I mean, look at this. This is NFL football. I'm on the Green Bay Packers. What's going on here? But we expected that. I mean, you expect that guy to not really... and he did have a couple of nice passes that were dropped. His numbers would have been a little bit better if they had caught. But the ball was wet. I mean, and I think the Packers got to look at it as a couple of these muffed punts returns and muffed kick returns, and there were a few times even Scott Tolzien kind of lost the ball, but and he did hold a defender off of the Titans, which was kind of cool to see him kind of hold him back and then jump ahead of him and recover that fumble. But Chase Reedy just looked like he was lost. Like, okay, I'm going to check my underpants when I get out of this game, because this is getting scary for Tennessee. Whitehurst went 10 for 15, 94 yards, and 1 touchdown. He looked pretty good, Charlie Whitehurst. Jake Locker went 1 for 2 at 5 yards. Zach Mettenberger out of LSU, kid that they're high, and went 4 for 7, 87 yards, and made a nice long pass last night. James Starks was basically the offense for the Green Bay Packers. 6 rushes, 49 yards, 8.2 average. His longest run was 20 yards. He did score a touchdown. Rayshawn Neal, this kid, he looked pretty good too. 5 for 39 and 1 touchdown for the Green Bay Packers. And it's just nice to have football back. The problem is it's bumping up against baseball. And in most years, if you go back through the history of the Milwaukee Brewers, most years, by the time preseason starts, the Brewers are already out. I mean, they're out of the race. There have been years, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 89... 2008, 2011, that, we're August, we're still into it. But now we're kind of, okay, the Brewers and the Packers on at the same time. What do we watch? Do we bounce back and forth? And that's why I love all this new technology, because you can have your little tablet and you can be following along on one game and watching the other games. So get ready if you live in the Wisconsin area to, even though the Milwaukee Brewers are in first place and playing great baseball, most of the news now will switch over to the Green Bay Packers. Also, if you haven't heard, Brett Favre will be welcomed back to Green Bay. And this was one of those things that it wasn't the Green Bay Packers keeping Brett Favre out. It was Brett Favre needed to step forward and say, listen, I want to come back. I want to be in your Hall of Fame. I want to have my number retired. I'm willing to come back and forgive. I'm willing to forgive on whatever I think that you guys did me wrong, which the Packers did. Brett Favre didn't do him wrong on anything. That was all Brett Favre. Brett Favre made that decision. And in years past on this show, I've talked about that, so I'm not going to go into it too much. But it's good to have Brett Favre back in that Packer family. And they're gonna put him in the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. And why not? And why not? I mean, he truly is one of the greatest Green Bay Packers of all time. Well, that's pretty much our show for today. Hope you enjoyed it, because I sure enjoyed giving it to you. Don't forget, Milwaukee Brewer baseball today. They're taking on Clayton Kershaw. Jimmy Nelson, biggest game of his life. I feel a victory coming. I feel a victory coming. Have a good day, everybody. And as always, go Brewers, go.
Broadcasting from the greatest city in the world, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Mr. Brewtown has left the studios. Drive home safely. Beep, beep.